Okay guys, so real quick video on how I do the alignment on my car. Okay, now understand, this is, you know, like all crazy inventions, they're born out of necessity, okay? I live in a county, okay? Think about it, for all my friends overseas, a county is about, I'd say, half the size of a province, okay? Just so you get the general reference. My county has 20,000 people that live in the whole thing, and we're a tourist town, okay? So we'd be significantly smaller if we didn't have the tourism, okay? So that being said, Land Rovers are a bit of a rarity up here still. There's not that many of them. They're all focused on the big three and, you know, things of that nature. So taking this thing to get aligned, they have a hard time figuring it out. So I've had to resort to coming up with my own methods, you know, and it saves me a little bit of money too. So I'll show you how I do this. No laughing. Don't flame me in the comments section. Remember, this is born out of necessity, so I've had to come up with this little plot to, you know, fix my own issues. It works out surprisingly well, I gotta tell you. I've taken it to get aligned, and I've had them do it 2 or 3 times, and I've come back and done the strings, and the car actually drives better with doing my little string method, okay? So pump the brakes, Hoss, and keep your snarky comments for a moment, because this actually does work, okay? It helps that, you know, I'm not having to mess with the camber, okay? So an alignment shop, of course, has to do camber. Caster, you can't change in these cars, okay? So if you got an issue with the rear, of course, you're going to need the machines and get that done. This only works for tow, okay? Let me give you that little caveat here, okay? So works great. Give it a shot. You may be impressed. Take your time. Measure 3-4 times. Do it 2-3 times. If the measurements aren't playing out, roll the car back and forth. You'll see in the next part of the video here. Roll it back and forth, or put it in drive and go back and forth. Tic-tac it, let the tires resettle, and then measure it again. Okay, sometimes the measurements will just play right into your hands. This does take a little bit of time, setting up the jack stands and such. You'll see in a moment. But I think it's worth it. It's kind of fun. You know, it's a little MacGyver thing going on, you know, for those of you that are about my age. So yeah, enjoy. And please don't flame me in the comment section, because this actually does work, okay? But do comment, you know, tell me whatever you've come up with, or your little ideas or twists or what have you, so we can solve all our issues as a group, right? So let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and so on. And just please don't flame me. All right, let's go. And here it is. All right, so the string goes to the center of the hub, so raise up your jack stand to facilitate that as best you can. And the same in the rear, of course, so it's nice and level. It doesn't have to be perfectly level, but, you know, right through the hub is a good general reference, okay? Because you're going to be measuring from the center of the wheel. So from the edge of the wheel, okay, by my eye, that is 6 5/8, okay? Now look at where I'm measuring. Okay, so we're going to duplicate the same thing over here as much as we can, which is also by my eye 6 5/8, not the camera angle, but by my eye. See how it changes? So we can roll the car so it has a contact point here, and then do the same thing over here. You see what I mean? So we can play with that. So I measure this back and forth like 3-4 times, just to check and check and check to make sure I got it exactly the same spot on both ends of the wheel. Okay, not the tire, because tires change, the wheel. Okay? And then once you take it up to the front, again, measure in the same spot. So this is about 7/16, a heavy 7/16. It's right in between 7/16 and a ½ inch. And then we come over here, measure in the same spot on the wheel, in between the spokes. And I got the same thing going on here. It's hard to tell with the angle of the camera, but it's dead on, okay? Same thing going on here. See the difference? All right. So if it's off, because I just changed, I just made the adjustment, and then I figured I'd make a video about it. You're gonna turn that guy. All right, pretty simple stuff. To make the front of the tire go out, you turn it in, opposite, okay? Small, easy adjustments. I go 1/4 turn at a time, Okay, so what that looks like is I'll measure it, find out if it's off and by how much. Make the adjustment on the tie rod itself. Okay, and then I come up here and I literally just start rolling the car. Put it neutral and just start rolling it back and forth. You know, foot, foot and a half, 2 feet, whatever each direction. And I'll do that 3 or 4 times. All right, and then I'll go back and start over in the back. Come back, check it again in the front and see how close I am or how far I am or whatever from there. All right, that's pretty much it. And then duplicate it on the other side.